Hey everybody, GravyTrain here with another episode of GravyTraining. Now we're going to be going over the relatively new hero, Alrakis Skullkeeper. Alrakis is a caster and a dragon. Finally seeing some more dragons. And let's get right into it. So I've got Alrakis runed with an evasion rune and a tainted rune. The tainted mechanic, in case you are not familiar with it, deals an additional 15% of any damage dealt as additional chaos damage. Chaos damage bypasses its shield piercing, bypasses defense, or its armor piercing, so it gets through a lot of defense, and it will also ignore damage resistance. So it's pretty damn strong. That 15% damage is probably more along the lines of like 50% additional damage because you're not going up against all of that stuff. Another Tainted, and so that's a total of 30%. He gets a base to Tainted to begin with, and then a Hero Rune for some more damage penetration, and a Dragon Rune for big damage and a chance to apply Doom on basic attacks. Doom is a buff that prevents healing being resurrected, it can't be purged, and it amplifies chaos damage. So all in all, this is a pretty strong rune build for him. 18,000 attack, but he's really flimsy, but that's okay. If you watch my video on Niveus, you will see that being flimsy or fragile is okay. So let's go through his many abilities. Cannot be silenced, ever. He has boosted chaos reduction. I don't know exactly by how much. Probably like 20%, something like that. I'd have to double check. This hero gains 10% damage reduction for each other living ally, so obviously starting at 30% and going down as heroes die. He's magical, takes less damage from non-physical attacks. He's armored, takes less damage from physical attacks, so he takes less damage from everything. He's flying, takes less damage from melee attacks. He's got a hardened spirit, takes less damage from AoE attacks. Are you sensing a theme? He's mystical. He's got boosted damage versus tanks and slow targets. He has Tempered Soul. All allies gain an additional 15% chaos reduction. Does not go past the max 50%. So this reduces specifically just chaos damage. And it goes against the total. So it's not like this is going to, say somebody has 15% additional chaos damage coming in, which amounts to, just for nice even numbers, 1,000 extra damage. This is not going to just take off 150% or 150 of the damage. It's going to go against the chaos damage coming in. So if it's 15% chaos damage coming in, this will negate it entirely. It's measured, it's like damage penetration versus damage reduction. Then Protective Tendrils. After being hit by an attack, this hero has a 20% base chance to make a basic revenge attack and debuff the attacker with Corrupted from Within for 1 turn. Corrupted from Within will cause damage when that hero dies and spread Corrupted to Within. It amplifies chaos damage, and it will spread to other allies. And finally, Draconic Heirloom. At the end of the allied round, this hero makes a ranged chaos attack on all enemies. So that's just based on his attack power, chaos damage. So this is big. Enemies who have the Doom debuff receive 50% more damage. Doom comes from a number of abilities. More than one hero can apply it, and Dragon Runes apply the Doom debuff. This effect continues after the hero death, as long as the corpse is on the battlefield. So the battle could go on 100 rounds. If this hero's corpse is still there, then they're going to be taking that damage every round, which obviously means it's not going to go 100 rounds. But that's effectively it. So you have to remove his corpse, burn it out, or whatever, in order to make this not happen. Abilities. So Chaos Missile, the basic ranged chaos attack. I remember what I told you about chaos and the chaos damage. On a single target for 561 base damage, that doesn't look like a lot, but that bypasses, well, here's exactly what it does. Chaos damage is shield and armor piercing, cannot be dodged or parried, ignores elemental resistances as well as damage reduction. So defense does factor in, but not if they're armored. The bonus that they get from armored is additional damage reduction, basically. So yeah, this is going to bypass everything that's really going to mitigate the damage. So that is 561 is actually still pretty darn good. Order from Chaos. So this cleanses, starts out as a heal. So it cleanses a target ally of the Doom debuff, and then heals them for, in this case, almost 7,000 health. This hero then does a ranged dark attack on a random enemy for 1402 base damage. That enemy gains the Doom debuff, a debuff that prevents the target from recovering health or being resurrected for 3 turns, and that cannot be purged. So that is pretty darn good, and they take more damage from chaos attacks and all that other stuff. Corruption from Within. So this was the effect that can be applied incidentally there. So it is a ranged spirit attack on all enemies for 701 base damage. The initial target gains Corrupted from Within for 2 turns, lowering their attack and defense. When attacked, the affected and their allies take 701 chaos damage and 15% chance to spread Corrupted from Within for 1 turn. So they lose attack and defense. When they are attacked, everybody takes damage, and they have a chance to spread chaos within. Finally, Draconic Anger is a ranged spirit attack on all enemies. 2804 base damage. Enemies who have the Doom debuff receive an additional 1402, so basically 50% more chaos damage. All enemies gain the Doom debuff, and this starts powered. So those are the abilities. There is no epic yet. So pretty darn good. Bordering on overpowered. Well, this hero itself isn't really bordering on overpowered, but chaos damage is bordering on overpowered. So let's demonstrate some teams. So dragons actually have some really nice synergy right now. So I'm going to go ahead and go with dragons. I'm going to go with Alrakis. I'm going to go with Nivius, the other dragon legendary. I am going to go, and I'm going to be doing a video on the epic for Agnon, but I'm going to be going with Agnon. And for the heck of it, I will then also go with Furno to show a big dragon team. And I'll show a few battles with this hero so you can kind of get an idea of what's going on. But in general, you really just want to keep this hero alive or on the battlefield as long as possible and keep your other heroes alive so they'll kill the enemy. So they both died. Matter of fact, all 3 of the dragons died. I'm actually in trouble this battle. So I am going to do this since my epic won't put me back in stone form. Although I should have done the other because it would have... Alright, I'm actually okay. You can see Nivius came back up. Although I have to not die here, which I didn't do. So, yeah. That was not a good showing. Let's try it again with the next group. Really? Alright, I'm gonna fast forward through this one. I'm gonna pause the recording. Oh, of course, the new version. This doesn't have that. Alright, I'm gonna just go up against this team, which is slightly better than the other one. And we'll use the same team here. Notice I'm not getting steamrolled by a ridiculous team. Okay, so usually the order I use his abilities in a 1, 2, 3 order. Because this one will apply the Doom debuff onto another hero, I'm going to go ahead and use this first if there has been damage taken, which there has. So I'm going to cast it here. Heals and attacks. Next, so this is Niveus, and I did do a video on Niveus already. I don't want to use this until I actually want to res somebody, so I'm going to attack with the second ability. And this is probably going to kill people. And kill him. Alright, and now, so we've got a hero with the Doom debuff, if they're not already dead. I think they're already dead. So that was not the end of the round. There's no other allies for Corrupted for Within, so I'm going to do the third ability, which will finish the fight off. Yeah, just a little bit. Alright, one more battle, and then you can watch my stream if you want to see a whole bunch of battles using Alrakis. My stream from 2/29/2020 has, I'm just going to refresh this, has, like I use the hero all day. So you can see lots and lots and lots and lots of battles using that hero. And I'm going to switch out and I'm going to use Selwyn for this. Although I might have wanted to use Serenity instead. Yeah, Serenity. I'm going to be doing her matter of fact, she's my next video, so she is a little bit OP. So anyhow, barring Serenity teams that have a combination of super powerful heroes, this hero itself is actually really good. I'll do one more. There we go. One more with no Serenity. But the strategies that I'm using is basically for survivability. I've got these two. Niveus will resurrect Alrakis and self-res. And basically I'm just here to do as much damage as possible at the end of every round. I'll go ahead and heal myself. That is Agnon's new epic ability. So keeping them alive, because no matter what, this damage is going to keep going through. It just killed 2/3 of the team. And we'll finish it off. So yeah, Alrakis is an SS tier hero. Very strong, very useful, very versatile. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Hope you learned something. Hit that thumbs up button. And we will see you soon. Take care.